Did they all get along?
Yeah, the three of them are like the three amigos, they're best friends.
Wait until y'all see what all has just come out in court. Before we get into today's video, I just want to let you guys know that this video is for educational purposes only. Please remember to be kind to everybody everywhere, in your everyday life, in your home, in the grocery store, and especially in the comment section down below. Please do not show hate to anybody, anywhere. So good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everybody doing today? I hope you all are having an amazing day. I hope you all are having a wonderful week so far. I hope everybody is doing good. I know y'all have heard me talk about this a million times, but I want to say it again. It is freezing here in northern Florida where I'm at. And y'all know we got snow earlier this year, 2025. And I don't know about where y'all are at. I know my friend in Texas is saying the same thing. But we have had no fall. It's like we went from summer to winter and it's absolutely freezing here. Is anybody having like a nice fall where you're at or nice weather? Because it's unreal down here in this part of Florida. Anyways, in today's video, we are going to be doing another update on the Anna Kepner situation. And you guys, there was just this court hearing that was had for Shantel, Anna's stepmother, between her and her ex-husband. And there were cameras in the courtroom and we have learned a lot already. Before we get into it though, I did want to let you guys know, if you don't already know, hi, my name is Christina. I do have a second channel, which is Casually Christina. We just do things more casually over there. I also have a Patreon. My Patreon's for 18 and up. And over there, we talk about more personal stuff. We go live over there. There's a $2 tier for more videos like this that cannot go over on this YouTube channel. That goes over on my Patreon where it's more like uncut, that type of, talk more freely or less censored over there on my Patreon. That's under the $2 tier. Just make sure you read the full about section of what each tier offers before you join. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Like to Know It. And Like to Know It is a platform where you can find links to a lot of things that you guys ask about, that I use and that I love. Everything from skincare, hair care, makeup, clothing items, this top, this chair, this Christmas tree, all this stuff that I want a link or y'all ask about, I do over on my Like to Know It. And all of those platforms are linked down in the description box if you would like to come and check me out. So, okay, like I said, cameras were in the courtroom during a hearing just last week, and I just cannot believe what all came out. Before we get into it though, I did want to let you guys know real quick, I'm not a professional. I do not know any of these people. I'm pulling all of my information from very public sources and news sources that is already out there, filtering it through my own words and opinions and giving y'all my opinion. Please go do your own research, form your own opinions. Just do not show hate to anybody, anywhere. So at the end of last week, Shantel and Chris were in court regarding Shantel's custody case with her ex-husband Thomas. And if you're not all caught up on that, please go watch my last videos where I talk about Shantel and her divorce from Thomas. This was an emergency custody hearing to address whether or not Shantel and Thomas's 9-year-old daughter should remain in Shantel and Chris's home. But let's first start out talking about what the lawyers said in their opening statements to the judge. Thomas's lawyer, and y'all know Thomas is Shantel's ex-husband, told the judge that Shantel took their children on this cruise without his permission.
Your Honor, in this case, obviously it's our position that the youngest child is at risk for a number of reasons. As the court is aware through the pleadings, there's a young lady who's passed away. That matter is still under investigation. That was not my client's child, but the stepchild of the mother in this case, and the remaining 16-year-old is now a suspect in that case. In this case, the mother took the children, both Brooke, on a cruise against my client's wishes, while preventing him from having regular contact with those children. We believe that the arrangements that were made by the mother, as far as the sleeping arrangements, were insufficient. The 18-year-old, 16-year-old, and another 14-year-old were all placed in the same stateroom. There's indications that they may have, because they were in international waters, may have been engaging in activities that they normally couldn't engage in while they were in the United States properly being supervised. In addition, we will present evidence that through the older child who's now 18, so he's an adult, but he is the son of the parties, as to violence, alcohol use in the past, and he's been living with his father for approximately almost 2 years now, since these parties had their separation, where, as the court is aware, there was an original divorce case, there was parenting time, both parties were in Hernando County. Then the mother relocated by agreement between the parties over to Titusville. Since she relocated to Titusville, that's when the problems have occurred, where the father has been very limited in his access to.
Now, this is what Shantel's lawyer said in their opening statements.
May it please the court, we believe, and I think we filed that in our response, that there's no emergency that exists. There was an incident on the cruise ship. The Federal Bureau of Investigations is investigating that. There have been no arrests made yet, but since my clients were advised that he was a suspect in that, after he was released from the hospital upon the return to the United States, he was placed with a relative of the mother's. And not only did that happen, but mom contacted dad, and dad signed an agreement to say that this child would be placed with a third party, thereby removing any risk of any danger to any of the other children in the home. So that has been resolved, and there's been nothing mentioned of that. Nobody's saying, I don't hear the other side saying that they participated in that in any way, whereas the father was advised and did participate.
Then Shantel got on the stand to testify. Listen, first of all, in my unprofessional opinion, baby, she was media trained. You hear me? She sat right there very still. Yep, nope, no sir, yes. She showed no emotion, and I don't think it's because she's emotionless. I think she was practicing with her attorney not to give away anything extra. Anyways, during her testimony, Shantel confirmed that Anna and her two brothers, the 16-year-old stepbrother who is the suspect, and the 14-year-old half-brother all shared a stateroom together. She said that her, Chris, and the 9-year-old daughter were in a room across the hall, and Chris's parents were staying just 2 floors up.
As far as the minor children, what were the sleeping arrangements on this cruise?
Was in my room with my husband and his 9-year-old daughter, and then shared a room with his stepsister and stepbrother. The room was directly across from ours.
What was the stepsister's name?
Anna Kepner.
And what was the stepbrother's name?
Kepner.
And how old is Kepner?
14.
And how old was Anna?
18.
Now, who made the decision to have these 3 teenagers in one room in the cruise?
We had talked it over with our travel agent, and that was what was suggested.
Did you have to sign any special permission for the children to reside together? So was it a mutual decision between yourself and your husband?
Correct.
Where was their room in relation to your room?
Right across the hall. You walked out my door, their door was right in front of it.
Shantel was asked if she drank on the cruise.
That Thursday evening on the cruise, had you been drinking at all?
No.
Had you drank at all during the cruise?
I had 2 pina coladas and a blue Hawaiian earlier in the week, but it wasn't on the same day. It was like 1 a day.
Shantel was also asked if Anna and the 2 boys, one being the 16-year-old stepbrother and the other being the 14-year-old younger half-brother, were allowed to drink on the cruise.
Do you know if the children, based on being in international waters, could drink alcohol?
No.
You don't know?
No, they didn't. They're not old enough.
What about Anna?
I don't know.
Weren't you aware that the children were gambling at some point?
Well, Anna's 18, so I know she was in there at one point in time, but the other kids were not.
You're sure that the other kids were not gambling?
I'm sure the other kids were not gambling.
Now, that was a very good answer from somebody who has an attorney that told her what to say. Now, doesn't mean it's not true. I'm not saying it's not true. She could have very well been telling the truth. But that answer was very precise. They're not old enough. They're not allowed. Remember that she said that, though, when we get further into this video. Then Shantel talked about the medication that the 16-year-old stepbrother was taking.
As far as, does he have any diagnoses?
He has ADHD.
And how long has he been diagnosed with ADHD?
About 3 or 4 years.
Those after your separation from Mr. Hudson, correct?
About that timeline, yes.
And does he receive medication for his ADHD?
He does.
And what medication was he on for his ADHD?
Methylphenidate.
And how often would he take that medication?
Every morning. He also takes a nighttime pill as well.
The same medication?
No, it's clonidine.
What is that for?
Insomnia.
Did you hold on to the medications?
Yes.
Did you make sure he took his medications every day?
He took his morning pill every day, and he missed 2 doses of his clonidine at night.
You held on to the clonidine as well?
Mm-hmm.
That's yes?
Yes, sorry.
And what do you mean he missed the doses? What happened there?
He went to bed before he got it. He was already asleep.
Including that Thursday night?
No, Thursday night he didn't get it. I had fell asleep before he did.
Which I find very interesting because some of the reports that has come out made it sound like he was diagnosed with possibly more than ADHD, but she's saying ADHD, and then so he's basically taking a stimulant in the morning and then something at night to wind him back down. She also talked about the medication that the 9-year-old is on.
You mentioned her being a good student. Is she also diagnosed ADHD?
No.
Is she on any medications?
Yes, she takes a migraine medicine daily.
And are you the one that administers that medication?
Yeah.
And at 9 years old, she's already having to take medication for migraines. Like, my heart goes out for that baby girl. Now, remember my last video, we talked about how the 16-year-old stepbrother is staying with an unnamed relative for now, right? Well, the judge asked Shantel during this hearing if there was any chance that he may be coming back to Shantel and Chris's house. This was her answer.
Have you made arrangements for to reside with a relative?
Correct.
And why did you do that?
It was something that his father and I mutually decided.
Did you suggest it to him or did he suggest it to you? Who brought it up first?
It was something that we had talked about because neither one of us could bring it back to our home.
Why couldn't you bring back to your home?
Looking out for the safety of the other children in the home.
As far as going to be allowed to come back to your home at any point?
As of right now, he's not coming back to the home.
Now, I found that very interesting. Very interesting that she said no, and that for the safety of the other children, which I would agree, but coming from her, you know what I mean? Thomas and Shantel's 18-year-old son was also in court as well, and he testified that Shantel and Chris took him from school and forced him to move with them to Titusville.
How did you find out they were taking you to Titusville?
After I got in the car and they had took my phone already.
What do you mean they took your phone away?
I had gotten in the car, and as soon as I got in the car, she had asked me for my phone. She took it and powered it off.
Is that normal for them to take away your phone?
No, sir.
Who else was in the car?
It was my mom and my stepdad at the time.
Would that have been Chris?
Yep.
And did you let them know that you didn't want to go to Titusville?
Yes.
And how old were you at that time?
I was 16, I believe.
And How did you let them know that you didn't want to go?
I told them I didn't want to go.
And they still held on to your phone?
Yeah,
Did you try and leave the vehicle?
I did, yes. When we stopped, I tried leaving, but as soon as I would try to get out, they would speed off.
Did anybody physically touch you?
Yes, I was put in a chokehold and held up against the seat, the front seat.
Who did that?
Both my mom and Chris.
Did that happen on several occasions during the drive or just one time?
They held me against the seat until I couldn't fight back anymore.
So how long did that last for then? If you remember.
I want to say like 20 minutes, 2.5 hours maybe.
Do you know how long your mother had been dating Christopher prior to that?
If I remember correctly, 5 months. I don't remember exactly how long.
Now, if y'all don't remember, we briefly talked about this 18-year-old son between Shantel and her ex-husband before. He used to live with Shantel. When he was around 16 years old, he's 18 now, he went back to live with his biological father. There was all kind of rumors going around on the internet that this happened because there was physical altercation and stuff like that. And so he went back to live with his biological father, Thomas, who is now fighting for custody of the other two. From what I understood that the 18-year-old said today, Shantel gets with Chris and like in 5 months, she moves to Titusville and moves in with him with her 3 children. I mean, I don't understand. Y'all call me crazy. Maybe it's just who I am. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Maybe it's because I know the statistics. Maybe it's because of my own childhood and how I grew up and the things that happened to me, that I just feel like jumping from household to spouse to boyfriend and dragging your innocent, I don't get it. I don't get it. Anyways, in response, Shantel and Chris reportedly said that they only restrained the 18-year-old, which he wasn't 18 at the time. He was around 16 years old, for his own safety. However, he said that the car was not moving while they were restraining him. He also testified Shantel, his mother, allowed him to drink alcohol at home.
And during the 5 months that your mother was dating Christopher, did she allow you to drink alcohol?
Yeah.
What were the circumstances that happened?
We were just drinking. She would be on the phone with Chris sometimes, FaceTiming, and she would allow me to drink.
Now, y'all should remember that because how she just answered the other question about the cruise ship, about, oh, they're not old enough, they're not allowed. Okay, maybe they weren't. Maybe they weren't drinking, but anyways, it was eventually agreed that the now 18-year-old could go and live with his dad, and that's who he's been living with ever since that incident happened. Then Thomas, Shantel's ex-husband, also testified.
Did your ex-wife inform you that she was going on a cruise and taking the children?
She did.
And what was your position regarding that?
I wasn't okay with it. I let her know I wasn't okay with it.
And why was it that you weren't okay with it?
Because at that time, I was getting nowhere with seeing my kids. I had barely any communication at all.
So you weren't even able to hardly talk to them?
No.
Have there been occasions where you've been able to talk to them?
Occasions, she would have them talk just to say that they didn't want to talk to me.
And now remember, Thomas asked for this emergency hearing because he was worried about him and Shantel's 9-year-old daughter's well-being living in Shantel's home. But then when he was testifying, he said that he wanted to get the siblings together for Thanksgiving, and the judge quickly interrupted and said this.
When I had for Thanksgiving, I tried to get all 3 of the siblings to see each other because they've all told me they wanted to see each other. So I had messaged Shantel, and she wasn't okay with it.
Hold on just a second. Let me understand this, sir. We're here for an emergency motion because you believe mom has made some decisions that are detrimental to Brooke.
Yes.
As a result of some things that happened on the ship, but you were going to take or to get to be with. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
She asked to see her brother.
So because an 8-year-old asked to see her brother, you were going to accommodate her to do that?
Supervised, yes.
Go ahead.
When I saw that, I thought, oh my gosh. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he was just thinking like, I want to get all of them together for Thanksgiving and just spend time together. I don't know what he was thinking, but when I saw that, I'm like, none of them are thinking clear. What are they doing? What is everybody doing here? Anyways, he talked about an incident with Chris and the 9-year-old daughter.
You talked about the exchanges. Have you ever seen the stepfather, Chris, interfere with the exchanges?
Yes.
And how so?
Just before Thanksgiving, we met at a fire station, and he and his family got out of the car. Shantel never got out. Brooke refused, of course, to get out. And I think after he said the third time, she said she didn't want to go. He stepped between me and the door, closed the door, said to get away from his vehicle, and that they were leaving.
So you weren't given the opportunity to try and take Brooke out of the vehicle?
No, I was told not to reach my hands inside the vehicle or anything.
Had either Chris or his family attended other attempts to?
Chris has, yes.
Then Shantel's stepmother got up there and testified, and oh my goodness. Apparently, Shantel was living on her property before she moved to Titusville in April of 2024 to be with Chris. She testified that she did see the 18-year-old, who again was 16 at the time, drinking in the house, and the stepbrother, who is the suspect.
Are you aware of, while she was living with you, were you aware at some point that she was allowing the minor children to drink alcohol?
I saw it one time.
What were the circumstances? What did you see?
I walked in the house. They were sitting at the island.
Who's they?
Shantel, Andrew, and were sitting around the island. And I do believe, I think it was Chris that was on FaceTime. And they had shot glasses in front of them. And I'm like, what are you doing? She said they just wanted to taste what it tasted like.
Who's they?
The boys.
She allowed all 3 boys to,
There was 2, Andrew and
so she allowed, there was 3 shot glasses, one for mom, one for Andrew, and one.
yes, ma'am.
What was your relationship with the children while they were residing with you?
Very good.
Now again, bring it back to the beginning where she said, no, I wouldn't let them drink. On the cruise ship. They're not old enough. Now her stepmother testified on the stand in court that not only did she see who was 16 at the time, that would make the other one, the suspect, 14 at the time, drinking with her, with shot glasses, while on FaceTime with Chris. Call me a Scrooge, y'all. Call me a prude or whatever. But I don't get it. I do not get it. Okay? Now, Shantel's stepmother also said that there was a falling out.
And you said that since that Shantel moved to or relocated to you haven't called her to request.
Oh, yes, I have.
Oh, you said you're
I
saying
have
that you
left
called
messages. I have texted her. We have reached out. There was a falling out about Chris, and she didn't want anything else to do with us because her dad told her that he couldn't come around.
Because your dad, meaning your husband,
Yes.
told her that Chris couldn't come around.
Yes.
Okay. And this falling out was because Chris allegedly cut some trees to clean up the yard at your request, correct?
That and some other things, but that's something you'd have to ask him his opinion.
Okay.
Or I'm not going to answer for him.
Okay. But it would be fair to say you haven't seen the children since she's relocated.
I haven't.
And you haven't sent them a Christmas card.
Oh, yeah. I called to get her address. I texted her to get her address, and she wouldn't give it to me.
Okay. And you haven't.
And I still have their gift cards that I had gotten.
Okay. But you didn't give it to them.
I wasn't allowed to.
I see. Okay. Have you ever been to Titusville? Did you ever come over here?
No.
Okay.
Why am I going to drive 2.5 hours if I'm told I can't see them?
No, I have no further questions, ma'am.
Given all of this, the judge decided that there was no immediate risk to the 9-year-old daughter in Shantel and Chris's home. So she will be staying with them instead of going to her father Thomas's house. But the judge made it very clear that this hearing was for an emergency, like meaning she needed to be taken out right now.
The issue for this court today is whether or not the children in this case are in imminent danger. And I've heard lots of testimony with regard to what happened back in 2024, what happened on the West Coast. But other than the incident that happened on the cruise, I've heard nothing to indicate that Brooke is in imminent danger or harm at this time.
However, they have another court hearing in a couple weeks that has to do with custody and the fact that Thomas, the ex-husband, says that Shantel has alienated him from the other 2 kids, doesn't let him really see them or talk to them very much. She did just recently, but that's because of all this court stuff. So we will see what happens at that next court hearing. Shantel's lawyer did tell the judge that she wasn't sure what the FBI was going to do in regards to the 16-year-old suspect being charged, and that they were waiting on some test results to come back.
How long is expected to remain with the relative?
At this point, we're not sure. We're not sure what the FBI is going to do, whether he's going to be charged federally or whether they're going to turn it over to the state. My client is waiting to hear on that. They're also waiting on some testing results. They've done a bunch of psychological testing and psychiatric testing, so they're also waiting to hear about that. And so they don't know at this time how long the child is going to be at her relative's house.
Is there any expectation that he will be coming back to Titusville in the near future?
No.
Okay. All right. Then, based on the evidence that's been presented today, I don't find that there is an emergency and that isn't any imminent risk of harm.
And after all of that, Thomas and Shantel and his 18-year-old son were seen leaving court together. And here's a picture of Shantel and Chris leaving court together holding hands. Now, when y'all see this picture, this is something that I want to say as a little reminder to maybe any distant family members that are watching this, or anybody that hopefully in the name of Jesus, nobody watching this will ever be in this situation. But it made me think about it when I seen this picture right here with Chris holding his new wife, mind you, new wife's hand ever so tightly. If their marriage does not work out, and this is his 3rd wife, and this is at least her 2nd husband, and not to say that 3rd time ain't a charm, honey. My grandma's been married 5 times, and now her 5th husband, they've been married almost 50 years. So sometimes you get it wrong until you get it right. So I'm not judging there. But if they don't stay together, the 2 of them will split, and Shantel will have her son. Chris will never have his daughter Anna again. So I hope that this hand holding, him having her back, is having Anna's back first, the actual innocent victim in all of this. Because again, if they split up and they're not together anymore, she will walk away with every family member, and him and everybody that loved Anna will no longer have Anna. That brings me to telling y'all about Shantel's TikTok. And mind you, Shantel knows that all these eyes are on her. Obviously, it's why she tried to put a gag order on their custody hearings and all of that stuff. And Shantel's TikTok, allegedly her TikTok, is public, and she makes very public posts, which tells me she wants people to see them. Now, I gotta say this because I don't know Shantel. Either Shantel or someone who is seemingly on her TikTok is actively reposting videos since all of this happened with Anna, and a lot of them are relationship related. But I've taken a couple screenshots and screen recordings so you guys can see. And as you can see, a lot of them give some sort of vibe of wanting somebody to read these about a relationship. Maybe a relationship ain't doing so well. Maybe things behind the scenes are a little rocky. I mean, there's some about a man having a wandering eye and all kinds of stuff. And it's just weird. If Shantel is really reposting these, I don't know why somebody else would get on her account and repost these. Out of all the things going on in the world, like you're reposting this relationship stuff. Again, I don't know. It's just weird to me, right? Like, am I the only one? If this was your stepdaughter and your son in this position, like this is what you're reposting on TikTok? Is it trouble in paradise behind the scenes? Is the picture of them holding hands just for the court and the media? And then behind the scenes, I don't know. It is so weird. The more I look into this family and watch what they're doing publicly, I'm not on here just posting like secret emails that I'm getting from people. It's bizarre. Anyways, there's also this post circulating on social media, and it's from someone seemingly claiming to be Thomas's mother, okay, the ex-husband's mother. Now, I obviously do not know her personally, or I don't know anyone in this family. Looking for pointers on starting a GoFundMe account to help retain financial services for attorney's fees leading up to multiple charges. Questions and concerns regarding my son, grandson, and the death of Anna Kepner cannot help, but think is being set up. Nothing makes sense. Please, someone help me try to figure out how to do a GoFundMe for my son who has been isolated from his children for a year and a half due to the evil, vindictive mother, Shantel Kepner and Christopher Kepner, for the safety, mental, and physical the children have endured over a year and a half. Please give me insight on how to do a GoFundMe. Thank you. Much appreciated. And if that is really her posting this sounds like, a woman that probably ain't on Facebook very much, don't know what to do, but is desperate to try to find some help. And it's my unprofessional opinion of what we're seeing so far is this is a family that is being torn from all angles. Like, Anna Kepner's family, or biological mom and uncles, Tabitha, who was the second mother or stepmother, the longest seemingly motherly influence in Anna's life, her whole side of the family, as well as her dad, Christopher's parents, and their side of the family. All of them seem to be walking on eggshells, trying not to do anything too wrong to tick Chris off. And then you got the new wife who is allegedly, according to her ex-husband, isolating the kids from him. And all this time has done moved to Titusville with them, moved in with a new man, immediately got married seemingly, and all of this stuff going on, drinking, underage, this whole mess. And then they put these kids in a room and one of them does not come out alive. What an insane, bizarre situation. And at the end of this, seemingly, you got the 16-year-old suspect's biological father actually fighting for his kids here. He's in court. He's having these emergency hearings. You got his mom, who obviously don't know much about Facebook, on there desperately trying to figure out GoFundMe to help her son with her grandchildren. But who is on Anna's side fighting for Anna like that? It seems weird. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. Other than that, I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching this, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Love you guys. Bye.